Going on, guys? Appreciate you stopping by. I was doing a little research earlier, trying to catch up on what's going on with Iran in the United States, and craziness. It's just crazy. What I had read, and things are changing constantly. So by the time you watch this video, things may have changed. But we had the United States government coming out and saying that they were told by the Iranian government, hey, sorry, when we shot at some commercial container ships, it was a mistake. It was some military people that kind of went on their own. We sorry about that. And United States supposedly told them that they had until, I believe today, Saturday, to publicly admit to what happened. Now, I doubt that's going to happen, just what we've seen before. Yet the news, if you can believe it, is reporting that the Iranian government has put out a hit on President Trump. And there's been statements issued that basically the death, which happened early on in this conflict, of the Ayatollah or president of Iran, was going to there was going to be revenge for that. So who knows what's going on and what's going to happen. I think that is the biggest take that we can continue to see, is a lack of cooperation and a continuation of the conflict, and a continuation of the Strait of Hormuz being at least partially closed, if not closed all the way. So we've done videos before. We've talked about what may happen as a result of that. I think it's fair to say, if you use a little logic and common sense, that we are going to see fairly soon gas prices shoot up. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve is dropping, and it's getting to a level that previously, at least, was considered empty, and an emergency, I guess you could say. That once it got down to that point, it was critical. We cannot allow it to get down to that point, and we're really close. So we'll see. And if we see fuel prices go up again, I just suspect, and comment below what you think, but I suspect that we may see all new records hit. And I've mentioned this before, that the level of uncertainty regarding this whole situation is at an all-time high. I mean, there was the MOU, there was the agreement. A lot of people thought, okay, we're going to get past this. It's not necessarily smooth sailing from here on out, but it's going to be better. And it did not last long. So, the amount of rhetoric that's coming out of the U.S. government about what is happening, and then the whole thing with the call for the assassination of the president by Iran, and the statements that I saw, they said it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then what the U.S.'s response would be to that, it's not good. It's not good. And the reality is, it's us, me and you, that will suffer the consequences of this whole thing, because we're the ones that will pay more at the gas pump. And if we run into any kind of shortage, the supply is going to drop, the demand will remain the same or go up, and the price is going to skyrocket. And that in turn will mean that everything else that's transported using fuel, whether it's diesel or regular gas, whatever, is going to go up as well. So that leads me to ask the question, are you prepared? And I decided I would just come right out and ask that question in that way. Are you prepared? If your answer was not an immediate yes, then you know what you need to do. You know that you've got steps that you have to take. No matter how small a step you take, if you take that step in the right direction, it's an improvement. You're bettering yourself. And I know I've gotten a lot of people coming onto this channel and subscribing that really might not have a preparedness background. They might be more into gardening, and as you can see, I'm sitting in my garden, gardening and homesteading. But with the uncertainty that we're living in the world today, the Iranian conflict is just one. It's just common sense to take some reasonable measures to be prepared. And I'm going to take probably 1 minute and talk what you should be doing. If you're good, you got stuff put back, you're not a newbie, great. But if you're newer into preparedness, or maybe you stopped some time ago and you're getting back into it, food and water. You got to have food and water to survive. So buy extra, put it back, shelf-stable things like soups, vegetables, canned goods, fruit, meat, ham, chicken, stuff like that. Every time you go to the grocery store, just get a few extra cans, and you'll be amazed at how fast your food storage program can build up. Buy some cases of water and stick them in the corner. Have a decent water filter so that if you needed to filter some water out of a pond, a stream, or a puddle, you've got a way of doing that. Medical. If you're on prescriptions that you have to have, look into ways that you can get extra supplies. There's ways of doing it. I'm not going to cover all of that in this video, but look into it. Do some searches, figure it out. Get backups for your prescriptions. If you wear glasses like I do, get a few extra pairs. Not one, get a few. There's a saying, one is none and two is one, and that has to do with redundancy. If you've only got one pair, if something happens, you got nothing. But if you got two pair, you're much better off. And if something happens to the one pair that you got, well, you've got that backup pair. But three's even better. Shelter, most likely whatever may happen to you in the future, you're going to stay wherever you're at, or maybe you've got relatives or friends or someplace that you can go. But in case you have to leave, have some way of having shelter. Maybe it's a gazebo, a portable gazebo. Maybe it's a tent. Maybe you have a camper. That's fantastic. But shelter is important. And then look at things such as hygiene, sanitation, light. Do you have batteries for your flashlights? Do you have flashlights? Several years ago, we had tornadoes come through when I was living in South Carolina. Power went out, next door neighbor, not a single flashlight. Not a single flashlight. Crazy. It's just crazy. Have some extra fuel on hand. All right, I said 1 minute. I know I've gone over that. So think about going camping for a couple of weeks and you can't leave that camping spot. What would you need? That's your goal. That's what you need to stock up on. So I'm asking you, are you prepared? Are you ready? And if that answer is yes, great job. If that answer is no, then get out a pad of papers, make a list, and get going. It's as simple as that. You know, there's a ton of predictions out there regarding this whole Iranian conflict and what's going to happen with the SPR and what's going to happen with gas prices and all this stuff. And it ranges from nothing to the apocalypse. I'm sure it's going to be probably somewhere in the middle there. But, you know, don't take a chance. Anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping by. A quick video I wanted to get out there today. And if you got anything out of this video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Comment below what your thoughts are. Share any advice you might have for somebody that's new into preparedness. Ask questions. It's a great community that we're developing here. Great comments. Love it. So that's it. You guys stay safe. Take care. We'll see you next time.
So I ran from the cities and the noise and lies, found a piece of ground under open skies. Hands in the dirt, sweat on my shirt, learning what living's really worth. While crooked men shake hands in rooms, selling souls to corporate suits. Society's sick, but I found the cure. A back road life, honest and pure. They can keep their throne and their golden news. This life out here's my modern exodus. I traded screens for a sunrise, callous palms, blisters, pride. Planted seeds where hope was.